shop area and the ceiling in the addition with closed cell spray foam. They started with the walls, and the first step was to get the only insulation in the ceiling. With the spray foam strips across the bad insulation in the ceiling. Kind of half below ground, so even though it's the middle of summer, like 90 degrees outside, with that, you kind of want in the 50% range. So it's an unfinished wood, it's an organic material, and so moisture was because of that recommendation, instead of installing all of the plywood on the shop wall, all of the valves to check for leaks. So these lines are pre-charged with refrigerant, so it's really ideal to check the leaks along the way, but it's absolutely critical to check the leaks after opening this valve. Before pulling the wire through the PVC conduit, you need to finish the run to the outdoor unit, starting by installing a surface disconnect. After scratching my head for a few minutes, I realized I had wired the surface disconnect incorrectly, and after fixing that, I could try the breaker again, at least until I get to the other two units once the spray booth is cleared out. Thankfully, the Perkins crew had just wrapped up their last house project, so they were able to help me out with finishing the rest of the plywood install. And as soon as the guys started working, I quickly realized I was going to...
That's impressive.
Let's check out John. More load than I've ever seen on any regular truck.
Damage for it,
and that's not terrible. We have to actually hire our crew to come here when we have like one day where we have
outside the shop. So as you have seen, there have been some issues inside the shop, and we also decided to go ahead and take down this larger tree and
grading work and also dumped a trash pile back here. Thankfully, I was able to really clean up this area and get it smoothed out down to where the water was flowing. Thankfully, this whale was working as expected, diverting the water away from the building. And you can see this even worked where the gutter down piled up the dirt at the bottom of the hill of the street. So I focused on getting that cleaned up with the dingo, piling up more dirt against the wall. Before finishing the grading work, I needed to deal with the rearmost boarded up window opening. And I didn't want to just bury this area as I didn't want the fiber cement panel things together while I figure out what I want to do over here. I got this matting from an agricultural supply store. Just rolled it out and tacked it in place. Third row, and once that was done, we could call the grade porch by digging the foot. Project I layout work. It was time to bring in machinery. A huge mess to clean up otherwise. So we were shooting for a footing depth of about 18 inches, which